Today we are starting the properties lab, day 1. We're going to do this for 2 days. Lab committee this week, Wednesday during tutorial sign-ups over here, Friday before school and Friday after school. I won't be here after school this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, so if you need me, Monday and Friday after school is where you need me, or come in during tutorials. We're going to finish the lecture next time on dialysis and osmotic pressure. The test does open on the 7th and goes through the 13th.
You said you were going to be here after school on Tuesday and the lab was going to be set up, so when will it be set up now? It's like just the Kool-Aid lab and so sick. You said come in Tuesday after school.
If you hurry, I can stay long enough for you to do that.
I heard it was really long.
The Kool-Aid lab? No. No. Okay, so on the colligative properties, we're going to be working with a couple new things. Dialysis tubing is one of them. We're going to be doing a few different things, so I want to go through the lab with you and show you how to do it quickly and efficiently so that you can get done by the bell. If you listen and do what I tell you to do, you'll be done with plenty of time. If you don't listen and try and just do it on your own, you will be here forever. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we need to look at. So if you grab your lab out, the first part that you want to do is part D. So you want to go to D and start doing it first. It says to weigh a plastic beaker. We are going to be using styrofoam cups for this. So you're going to weigh the styrofoam cup. You're going to go back in the back. We have an ice machine. It is in the back lab. You turn left at the corner there, and it'll be on your left right by the fridge. Use the scooper to scoop into your styrofoam cup. Don't try and scoop with a styrofoam cup. We'll leave pieces of styrofoam cup in the ice machine, and we want to try and keep that nice. So scoop some ice in there, go back and weigh it. Put that ice in a beaker. Okay? Then put this on the scale, weigh out about 100 milliliters of water, which would be about how many grams? 100 milliliters or 100 grams. So put that in the beaker. Okay? Get your temperature probe and everything hooked up to the calculator. Stir, 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 get the lowest temperature. If there are enough around, since we're a small group, I would make sure I go to a station that has a heated stirring hot plate, so you both have stirring and hot plate, so you can get a magnetic stir, put it down the bottom, click it on, and let it go. You want to get the lowest temperature, just the ice water. Okay? Then you're going to go pick up a little teeny beaker like this, a little plastic beaker, fill it full of rock salt, that's water softener salt. Okay? And once you've got the initial temperature of the ice and the water, you're going to put it in and stir it and get the lowest temperature it goes to with the salt and the water. Once you've got the lowest temperature there, you're going to crank that thing up till it will boil by itself. Leave it stirring and ignore it. Okay? Just make sure the temperature probe is not touching the hot plate. Okay? So if you get that going first, because you remember how long it took us to boil that ice water the other time, same thing's going to happen here, because colligative properties say boiling point elevation. That means it's going to be higher temperature when it boils. So it's going to take more energy. So then once you get that done, and you're recording that down here at the very end, so the ice water with no salt, the freezing point is on 8. The lowest freezing point of the solution, that is with salt, is on 7. You can take the difference and get 9. Wait till it boils, get the temperature of the boiling water at the very end, rinse it out, clean it up, put it away. Boiling water with no salt you're going to get from the lab that we did already when we did the boiling point of water in here. Remember that? A couple labs ago. It should be in your new notebook, yeah. Okay, so then we go back to part A. Let me get right here. We're doing day 1. So day 2 we're doing next time. Yep. Okay, so on this, but first thing you need to do is do the data for part A and part B. So you'll need a calculator. Remember, molarity is, oh, that's a beautiful M. Molarity is equal to moles divided by liters. right? You're going to be making 100 milliliters of solution. In your procedure, it says 100 or 50. We are making 100 milliliters of solution, which means if I have 100 milliliters, that's equal to 0.1 liter, right? So if I'm finding moles, because I got to find out how much I need to weigh out, and this loves me sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, you're going to weigh out 0.25. Let's try that again. So I'm taking the 0.25, it's not writing very well, molar, and I'm going to times it by 0.1 liters. That's going to give me 0.025 liters, or sorry, moles of NaCl. Then you guys can convert that into grams, right? You just add up sodium and chlorine, times it by the moles, and you got your number of grams you need to weigh out. That's this one, okay? Then you're going to try and weigh that out. You're not going to get exact. So whatever you do weigh out, that's going to go here. That's what you actually weighed out. And then to find the concentration that you actually weighed out, you can take this mass that you had in 2, and you'll divide it by the mass of NaCl, right, in 1 mole, and then divide that whole thing by 0.1 liters, and that'll give you your molarity that you actually have. So you're going backwards. So you have to find out about how much to weigh out, but you're not going to be able to be exact, so then you got to figure out what you actually have. Okay? Then, how many remember how to make a molar solution? So let's review that real quick. You're going to have a volumetric flask. The volumetric flask has one line on it. It is a 100 milliliter volumetric flask. So you're going to weigh out your salt. You're going to put your salt in the bottom here. Then what do? Remember? You fill it up about halfway through the bulb with distilled water. And then you swirl and swirl and swirl and swirl till the salt goes away, right? Because if you try and fill it up more than that, it's going to be really hard for it to get to dissolve. So you need to have that stirring motion. Add a little bit more, add a little bit more, add a little bit more till it gets to the neck. Then you want to get a micro pipette and you want to drop, drop, drop in until the bottom of the meniscus hits that line, right? Then call me over and I'll check it off. Then you go make your next one. The next one for part B is a 0.25 molal of C6H12O6. So you're going to make a molal solution. What is a molal solution? Moles per what? Good, moles per kilogram. So if I'm going to make up that much, and I know that 1 gram equals 1 milliliter for water, right? I'm basically going to put here 0.1 kilograms of water that I'm adding, right? And I'm going to solve for moles again. I should end up with 0.025 moles of C12H12O6, and I can then convert to grams and figure out how much I need to weigh up. Okay, so that's part B. You're going to also tell me when you're done with that. You'll mix it up, tell me. Now, you are going to need to have 5 beakers. You're going to want to label them A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so this is the part C. This is a part where in A, this was my salt water. Now, depending on which one you use, it will either be red or it will be purple. We have both colors made up, or I colored the salt both colors. Okay, so you're going to just pour that into beaker A. In beaker B, it is the C6H12O6, so you're going to pour that into beaker B, and that one is blue. In beaker C, D, and E, you're going to fill up to the 100 milliliter line with distilled water. Okay? Now here comes the tricky part. This is where we use a dialysis tubing. You're going to just get a beaker full of water and cut lengths of dialysis tubing that are 8 centimeters long. You'll need 4 of them. Okay? Put them in the water. You have to put them in water because they come, and I don't have it with me because I took it back in the back. They come in a long tube, and it's like paper thin, but they're sort of plasticky, and they don't come apart until you put them into water. And then you can actually pull it apart, and it makes a little tube. Okay? Yep, I had water in that. Okay? But you have to rub it like this to open them up. Okay? When you roll it like this and you open it up, you're going to actually twist the end, like I've done down here, twist the end and fold it back on itself. And then you use these little clips, dialysis clips, and you force it down into this hole right here with it folded over, and then close the clip. You don't want it to leak. So you want to make sure that you do fold that top over so it holds it better. Okay? Then you're going to fill one of them with the red solution, and you'll put that red one, I believe it says C. Does it say C? Have somebody look at yours real quick. We'll look right back here. Come on. It's not going to let me move. Red is C. So it tells you right here what you're putting in. So I'm going to put the red in C. So I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to take and have a little thing here, and I'm going to weigh this before I put it in, and then I'm going to put that into C. Okay, I'm going to do 2 that are distilled water, and they're going to go in A and B. I'm going to put a blue one in D, and in E, I'm going to weigh a prune and put it in. Prune. Okay, so you're going to have little packages that are in here. Once you get all those labeled, you need to make sure your name and your partner's name are on these. I'm going to have you put them on a cart. Once we put them on the cart, you can clean up your area, you get a stamp, you're done for today. When we come back next time, you go back, you empty these out, you dry them off again, you weigh them again, you throw them away, you make ice cream. Okay? All right? So we do need to move quickly. You need to follow through what I do. I need somebody to tell me back what I just said because that was a lot of stuff. What do you do first? Do, D. Okay, so I do D, and my plastic beaker is my styrofoam cup. Okay, then I go to what? Part A. Part A. So then you're going to make your solutions. Okay, you're making solution A, you're going to make solution B, and you're going to check both of them off with me. Then you're going to go get 4 dialysis tubings, 8 centimeters long, and put them into distilled water. Let them sit for a minute or 2. Then you're going to open them up. Then you're going to close one end. You're going to fill them up like we talked about right here. 2 with distilled water, pat them off, weigh them, put 1 in A. Make sure the weight for A goes in A. The weight for B goes in B. Then you're going to fill up the ones for C and D. I would use a micropipette to fill them up so that you can get it into the opening. It's a little bit easier to get it to fill. Okay, then you're going to go pick a prune up, weigh it, and put it in distilled water. You're going to put all 5 onto the cart. Okay? Clean up, get a stamp. Go.